Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is that time this morning. I would like to introduce to you your head ref, Philip Anthony Lewalski Jr.
Do not call me Philip. I will not respond. I am PJ, is what I go by. Joel is just being obnoxious. So, welcome to the Great Lakes Bay Bot Bash. It's a lot of bees. But how many people here are new drivers, have not driven yet? Okay. It's not a ton. That's okay. So hopefully most of you have looked over the rules / understand a lot of the rules. There's just a few rule changes for this event that we want to go over. They've been posted online for a while, but we'll just go over them anyway. Each Alliance station has an additional 12 totes, so that's good, score more points. All of the gray totes in the landfill are positioned right side up, as you can see, as opposed to when they were upside down during the regular season, because nobody touched them when they were upside down, so let's at least make them useful. Sorry. I apologize, I talk fast. Anyway, the totes are all right side up. Before the start of the match, you can choose to flip or remove up to 5 gray totes from your landfill. It's not specified anything beyond that, so any 5 totes if you want to remove them, or any 5 totes if you want to flip them. Either do it yourself or let field reset know. Probably just do it yourself. Later. Each Alliance will be given 2 additional recycling containers to place anywhere on their side of the field prior to the match, with the exception of the auto zone. So the auto zone is the zone in between the colored pieces of tape. It's this zone right in the middle. So you can't put them there, because then you'd be 2/3 of the way to a container set already. So you can put them anywhere in that zone that doesn't have a name, or your starting zone. In playoffs, your yellow totes, so your cooperation totes, you can score them as gray totes in the playoffs, just so so they're not just in the way doing nothing. You can at least do something with them. In autonomous, robots that move completely into the auto zone will earn 2 points each. This replaces the robot set. So during the regular season, if you wanted points during auto, all 3 of your robots had to fully move into the auto zone. The difference here is now if one robot does, it's 2 points. It's 2 points for each robot that does it. So it's a little bit easier to get, a little bit more streamlined process. A second human player will be allowed to enter human player stations, but may only interact with litter and may not assist the other human player in using the tote chute. So, regular season, you'd get penalized if you had 2 people in the little vaguely triangular human player station. Now, as long as that second one is just like throwing litter or whatever, they can be in there while the other person is working the totes. So just don't have both people, so you can't have one person feeding totes while the other one opens the door. But you can have one throwing litter while the other one's working with totes. And then litter may be introduced over the wall for the entirety of the match. The arbitrary 20-second deadline is no longer there, because it didn't really make much sense, so we got rid of it. And then there's a couple, when we get closer to Alliance selections, but just so you know, for your own planning purposes, for the Alliance selections, the captains will not be able to pick each other. So just for your scouting and planning purposes, so number 1 cannot pick number 2. So number 1 would have to pick number 8/9, depending on how many alliances we end up having, depending on how many teams have showed up and check in and all that. All right, any questions? Did I answer your question already? Okay. Yes, Joel. What's PJ stand for? The name that you already said. Anyway, So, I mean, it's an off-season event. There's a lot of new people here. We're looking to have a lot of fun. Should be a nice, chill event. Just don't make stupid penalties. That's what 90% of them are people just making mistakes. Don't reach your hand over the wall. It's not safe. It's not a good time. That's the biggest one I've seen all season. So just watch your hands over the wall. As for the litter, to reiterate, you can throw the litter throughout the entire match. So even in the last 20 seconds, you can still throw it or introduce it over the wall. Yes, yes. Thank you. Yeah, just during tele-op, not during autonomous. I should have clarified that. All right, I'll be around if you think of any questions. Just come find me, let me know. I promise I won't bite. Next, we are going to have the queuing, or lead queuer, talk to you how the match is going, not the match, the flow of robots is going to happen.
Hello. I just want everyone to know when they're bringing the robots down the hall, this is the door that you enter, okay? And blue will queue up here, red will go down there and queue up down that end. The carts will be stored on the far side. There's a box on that side where you put your carts. And then when you load in on this side at the beginning of the match, when you're done, you'll go get your cart and you'll offload on that side and then out those doors over there. So it's just a flow around that way. Okay, any questions? We're only going to queue, we'll have the teams on the field and then we're just going to queue the next match. Normally we will queue a couple of matches ahead, but we're not going to with so few teams. So it's really important that you guys know when your match is up, know what match is on the field at the time, and be ready and be in the queuing line. And if we're getting behind and people aren't getting in line, then we're going to have to queue the next two matches, okay? So just try and be conscious of where we are in the matches and get into line when you should be. Okay, and if there's any problems with the robot or anything, just go to the pit admin and they'll let me know if you're having some difficulties and we'll be on your way or whatever. All right, any questions?
Okay, so I'm Chris and this is Ellen. We're both the FTAs for this event, and so we're going to explain some technical stuff. Don't enter the field unless the field lights are green. It's pretty simple, everyone knows that. No Wi-Fi, don't turn on any Wi-Fi access points or anything. Keep the Wi-Fi off on your driver stations.
If you guys haven't connected to the field, we'd really encourage you to come out so we can make sure that your driver station and your robot can connect without having to wait, and nobody likes watching everybody do the chicken dance for 2 hours, so that'd be really helpful for us. If you do have a problem with your robot and you can't make it out, please let us know. We can either find somebody to help you fix your problem, and it just gives us some forewarning on the field. So I know we're not queuing too early, but help us help you, so let us know what's going on. When you come out to the field, please make sure that your robot is on. We have a hard time getting you connected if your robot's off. Secondly, make sure your battery is plugged in. Also helpful for getting you connected to the field. And finally, please make sure that your radio stays in bridge mode the whole time.
Also with that, because of the amount of teams that are here and the matches that need to be played, you guys will most likely end up leaving the field, going back to the pits, and then they're going to tell you go back to the field because of the time of which the matches are being replayed. So make sure your batteries are fully charged, and if you end up in a situation where there's a bunch of teams that have low batteries because they didn't have enough time to recharge, tell the pit administration. They'll tell us, and we'll do a field timeout to give everyone about 3 to 5 minutes to get back up to speed. So let us know.
Other than that, we're supposed to tell you that the chute door and the chute are for safety and not for fun, and they're there for your safety. So don't do anything with it. Don't get excited. It's just a chute. Are there any questions? Has anyone not connected to the field yet? Can we see you guys after this? Thank you.
With your robot? All right. Anybody else want to talk? Field supervisors? Okay. You guys
Okay, I lied. On your schedule, you're going to see X's next to some of your team numbers. Those are because we have surrogate matches. When there are so few teams in an event, sometimes in order to make matches divisible by 6, there's 6 robots on the field, we have to put you in fake matches, so you're called a surrogate. So while you can play those matches, your points that you get in that match will not contribute to your average. So it's just completely random from the system. It doesn't count for or against you. Just wanted to let you guys know so it's not a complete surprise. Thanks.